Okay, in the same vein as far as pain management strategies, all the stuff we've talked about to try to unload the foot, as well as taping. You can actually even do taping in combination with your prefab orthotic or your custom orthotics to try to control pain. We tend to do even taping in our clinic as a way to convince somebody that orthotics might be beneficial, because if we can actually support and unload that fascia a little bit more with taping, it's a good sign that they would probably benefit from foot orthotics. Okay, so what you're going to need for taping is a roll of 1.5" Johnson & Johnson athletic tape, as well as the inch tape. All right, you can get it at CVS. Johnson & Johnson is more the athletic tape. You can try, other brands, of course, and see what happens, because you want it to stick to the foot. My foot's pretty dry. I don't have oily skin, so I don't need any sort of we call it like a pre-spray. You can buy also, it's called QDA, it's quick drying adherent. You can pick it up online as well. It might be included on my website as well as part of a package deal for getting all the things that you're going to need to self-treat at home. You just spray it on there, let it dry, and then tape. And the tape will stick so much better. Typically, if you don't have the spray, you need to tape every morning before you start the day. Okay? If you spray it and tape it, our patients, typically it lasts for about 2 days. All right? So, okay, so the technique. So 1-inch tape first. Sometimes you do an initial cross strip here, but let's just have you go with this technique. Okay, so just start, when you bend your toes, you always want to start below the bend. If you start on the bend, as soon as you bend your toe, it's going to pull the tape off. Okay, so start well below it, probably like a centimeter, maybe below it. Okay, so below the big toe joint, hold. You want to go over, make sure there's no wrinkles in the skin. Okay, over and around. And of course, I'm used to doing this, so you guys are going to take some practice, doing this. So up and over, right back to where I started. Okay, and then cut. Okay, then same sort of thing at, say, the number 2 toe, and over and around. Try not to pull with too much pressure around that part of the heel. Make sure the tape stays down and adheres all the way through. And this can be a little touchy sometimes for cutting. Okay. Where you position your toes, over here, if you do this, when you stand, there won't be quite as much, won't feel quite as tight. If you do this and tighten it when it's kind of slackened, it's going to feel like it's much more supportive. So I kind of just have people tend to keep it neutral. So toes neutral. I've got a little bit of turn in of my ankle as I do this. Okay, so pretty neutral with the toes and a little bit of turn in, because I've got to be able to see what I'm doing, obviously. And then back to the 3rd toe, or a little bit over from that. Okay, over and around, same thing. I'm making sure it goes down nice and flat. A little bit of tension here is all. And same sort of thing, make sure that you lay down the tape nice. Or you can even cut it before you go over to the end, put a little bit of tension into it, and lay it down that way. So there's a lot of different ways to tape out there. There's tons of different YouTube videos on this. This is the way I've done it for a lot of years, and this is the way I found it to be the most successful. There's some techniques that bring tape all the way up to the ankle. It just makes a mess. You gotta, get your hair out of the way and all that stuff. So just the bottom of the foot is really all you have to do. And then we'll take and do a couple cross strips here. This way. And this is sometimes all you have to do right there. This is all I'll really have my patients do. In the clinic, we'll finish it off and kind of make it look like a slipper, but it's just too hard for you to do and to manage going around. So, make sure there's no wrinkles there, make sure it's all well adhered. Then put your sock right on, and that'll keep it together. Okay? Don't go walking barefoot with this. You want to do it as a last thing before you put your sock on. And then you go to stand, and you certainly feel as though that foot's up and supported. Okay? So sock on, shoe on, and then go about your business. If you find that it's really digging in to the inside through here and it's making the pain worse after you've done it, you put too much tension there. So you can just take a pair of scissors and cut it a little bit here just to release that pressure right there. And that's it. That's taping. Okay, thanks.